Afternoon, Hattiesburg. Thanks for joining us for this COVID-19 briefing for Friday, November 20th. We're coming at you a little bit earlier today. We'll start with today's numbers in terms of tests. These are system-wide numbers for Forrest General, Merit Health Wesley, Samurai, Hattiesburg Clinic, and the Moffitt Health Center at USM. As of this morning, 86,560 total tests have been completed since this began in March, with 9,417 of those positive, 76,512 negative. We have 631 tests currently pending. In the hospital today, between Forrest General and Merit Health Wesley, there are 69 people who are COVID positive, which is about 10 over where we've been for the last 2 weeks. And of those 69, 19 are in the ICU and represent the most critical of patients. As you can see, that 69 number is the highest that we've been probably since the middle of August. And while ICU admissions are staying somewhat steady, the hospitalization, particularly as we go into the winter months, is particularly concerning. Statewide today, there were 1,638 new cases reported with 23 new deaths. Fortunately, none of those new deaths today or yesterday came from Forrest or Lamar counties. However, we do have large amounts of new positive cases. Forrest County reporting 31, Lamar County reporting 33. Since this began, Forrest County's total infection rate stands at 3,548. Lamar County stands at 2,689. 5-day average, Forrest County's come down a little bit. Lamar County's gone back up. So we see our 5-day average among both counties well over 40 now. Inside 14 days, this is the number of people who have received their positive test results in the last 2 weeks. Gives you an idea of how many active cases you could have. Forrest County's now stands at 292, with Lamar County's at 223. Right now, for the first time probably a month, our combined Forrest Lamar County cases are over 500, with the biggest increase coming over the last 8 days. We've seen almost an increase of over 100 now in Forrest County. Compared to a week ago, though, 224 was our inside 14-day number a week ago. It's now at 292, so an increase of almost 70 there. Lamar County increased at 15, so metro area wide going from 432 to 515 in 1 week. Hospitalizations, this is the bigger concern, going from 53 to 69. ICU admissions down a bit from 23 down to 19. Our goals continue to be in fighting COVID-19, protecting the vulnerable, people over the age of 60, people with underlying or chronic health conditions. Secondly, we want to prevent overrun of the healthcare system by slowing the spread. And finally, let's continue prioritizing public health while giving the private sector the space to operate creatively. The message for this week is hospital capacity remains a concern. We talked about on Wednesday the things that go into determining hospital capacity, and that's not only space, which are licensed rooms, but also the people, the staff, to staff those rooms, which often brings your licensed rooms down to your staff rooms. It's going to be a lot lower than that, particularly when you're dealing with medical professionals who are themselves getting sick from time to time. And then finally, making sure we have enough stuff, ventilators, therapeutics, things like that, to take care of people. We often hear about hospitals that will check out people in the mornings. Typically is when they start discharging folks, but then in the afternoon they come right back and they fill up. So as of 10:30 this morning, Forrest General had 14 acute beds available. Merit Health Wesley had 16 acute beds available. Again, that's 10:30 this morning. So what you're likely going to see are these numbers will probably go up just a little bit more around up until noon, 1 o'clock, and then you'll start seeing folks being checked in after surgeries or coming out of the ER or just needing help. And so 3 to 5 is typically peak time when people are admitted to the hospital. ICU beds, some encouraging news here. Forrest General had 3 ICU beds available. Merit Health Wesley had 2 ICU beds, and we know the struggles that other areas of the state are seeing. But the bottom line is it's important to make good decisions individually and collectively this weekend and the next week. If you're deciding what to do this weekend, wear a mask. Try not to go into places where there are a lot of people. Try to make sure that you are not potentially getting this, being asymptomatic, and spreading it to other people. When you think about Thanksgiving plans next week, don't put yourself around someone who's vulnerable, especially if you've been exposed out in public, and because we don't want the vulnerable getting sick and going to the hospital or worse. As a city, we're going to continue closely monitoring the hospitalization numbers, particularly now that we're kind of really concerned about capacity as rooms get short, and deciding, do we need to pull back some things to make sure that we are going to hit reset as we go into the holiday break and try to bring those numbers down, particularly as we get into the month of December. Speaking of masks, there is a giveaway at the Forrest County Emergency Management Center, which is on Highway 11, just by Sully's. Today until 4:30 p.m. you can stop by and get masks there. On Monday they'll be there from 7 to 7. If you know someone who cannot get there through transportation or shut in or disabled, they can call 544-5911 and they will deliver a mask to you. Some city news. Paving continued this week in Ward 5 in the Palmer's Crossing area. Old Airport Road, part of that road was done last fall. That road is now complete with the second phase. Also Phoenix Circle and Continental Boulevard were paved this week as well. I want to send a good luck and best wishes to our Hattiesburg High and other Hattiesburg playoff teams. Hattiesburg High goes to Pascagoula tonight. Oak Grove, I think, hosts another playoff game, as well as Lumberton Summerall have playoff games tonight. So I want to wish them all the best and hope that those teams can first of all remain safe, but also advance and further into the playoffs. And finally, our act of courage. PetSmart yesterday donated a lot of stuffed animals to the Hattiesburg Police Department and Hattiesburg Fire Department. This is important because a lot of times these two public safety departments are called into situations where children are involved, whether it's a crime or a fire or a car accident. This can be an often traumatic and stressful time for those kids. And so to have these stuffed animals that our departments can reach in their car, grab one, and give them to a child often makes the situation just a little bit better, a little more tolerable. And so we thank PetSmart for their commitment to our children and to our police and fire departments. As we go into the weekend, I want you to wash your hands, take care of yourself mentally and physically, wear a mask if you go out in public, do only what is essential, and remember, you're safer at home. Courage.